Very good morning, students. Welcome to your science class. Class 7th, I hope you all have performed very well in your unit test second. So let's now prepare for your final term examination. Looking ahead with your final term syllabus, you have chapter number 3, 5, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 chapter. These are your chapters which are coming in your final term examinations. So we are left with chapter number 5, 15, 17 and 18. And today we are going to start with chapter number 17, that is Forest, Our Lifeline. But moving ahead, first, let's talk about your activity work. I want you to prepare a poster on your forest conservation to create the awareness about forest values. You have to prepare a poster, a large size than A4 size sheet. उस पर आपको पोस्टर बनाना है. It should be well art integrated, properly decorated poster which is depicting about the forest conservation and forest values. And the next activity which you have to do is you have to design a logo, only a logo or a symbol which is depicting about the water scarcity, कि water हमें कम क्यों हो रहा है अभी इन दिनों में. What led to the water scarcity reasons here? What are the reasons? You have to only design a logo or a symbol. And this work you have to submit to me by 24th by 10 a.m. positively in your class email IDs. आपने PDF बना के इन दोनों एक्टिविटीज़ की मुझे सबमिट करनी है क्लास email ID पे. And if you are not going to submit, I'm not going to give you any marks for your activity. Fine? So coming to your chapter number 17, Forest, Our Lifeline. Let's start with the chapter. In the first paragraph, we are discussing about Bujo. In one evening, he has entered into a park with an elderly person and introduced him to his friends. He was actually Professor Ahmed and he was a scientist working in the university. So the children started playing with Professor, and because he was invited for some Golden Jubilee celebration in the town, so he sat around them and they were discussing something about the cultural program, what happened in the cultural program. So he was discussing that a plan was proposed to put up a factory by clearing an area to the forest, कि forest को हम clear करके area को एक factory लगाते हैं. This was a plan which was discussed by some industrialist in the cultural program by Professor Ahmed. So he was looking little worried कि why this all is happening, why we want to clear the forest. So let's learn about कि what is the reason of his disappointment. So he told them that many people had objected this idea along with him. So the reason for the rejection was because forests serve as a green lungs and water purifying systems in nature. अगर forest ही नहीं होंगे तो water को purify कौन करेगा, हमारे lungs को clean air कौन provide करेगा. So this was the reason Professor Ahmed was very much confused, and also the children, कि what is happening in the nearby area. So the children also wanted to know more about the forest, so they decided to visit it with Professor Ahmed. Visit to a forest. One Sunday, the children and professor, everybody gathered and they took few things such as knife, a hand, a lens, stick, notebook and walked together through a forest trail near a village. So on their way, they met Tibu. He was a young boy living in the village only who was taking care of the cattle for grazing along with his aunt. So seeing the other children of his age, he came along with them and let his aunt go to another route. So Tibu raised his hands and signaled them to be quiet because the noise could disturb the animals that are living in the forest area. उसने हाथ दिखा के उनको चुप रहने के लिए कहा कि जैसे उन्होंने फॉरेस्ट में सब बच्चों ने टीबू के साथ एंटर किया तो उसने कहा कि यू शुड बी क्वाइट एंड शुड नॉट मेक नॉइज बिकॉज दैट कैन डिस्टर्ब द एनिमल्स. सो देन टीबू टुक देम टू अ प्लेस एट अ हाइट, वो उनको ऊपर की साइड पे ले गया, वेयर द चिल्ड्रन वर सरप्राइज टू सी द ब्रॉड व्यू ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट, कि हाउ फॉरेस्ट लुक. कैन यू सी द इमेज 17.1? दिस इज हाउ द फॉरेस्ट लुक्स लाइक फ्रॉम द अपर मोस्ट एंड. आपने बहुत बार हिल स्टेशन जाके बहुत सारी वैलीज में देखा होगा, इट लुक्स सेम एज दैट इज गिवन इन द 17.1 figure. So they have a different treetops had formed a green cover over their land. However, the green cover was not uniform. कभी dark होता है, कभी light होता है. The environment was peaceful and a cool breeze was blowing. Environment बहुत ही peaceful था, शांत था और एक ठंडी ठंडी हवा चल रही थी. This made children quite fresh and happy. While coming down, they got excited on hearing a sudden sound of birds and some noise from the top branches of the trees. जब वो नीचे आ रहे थे तो बहुत ज़्यादा एक sudden sounds होने लगी birds की. The birds start chirping और बहुत ज़्यादा top branches से कई अलग अलग type की noises आने लगी. So what Tibu told to them कि this is a normal phenomena, this is very natural. क्यों? क्योंकि बच्चों को देख के जो monkeys थे वो ज़्यादा upper height पे चले गए trees की in order to keep them safe, so that they have disturbed the birds, and animals often give this type of a warning call alert to other animals also कि somebody else is there in their area, कि कोई और है जो कि animals नहीं है, normal लोग से अलग है. So Tibu also told them many other animals like bear, bison, jackals, elephants live in the deeper areas, कि यहाँ पे ये सारे animals भी रहते हैं. So Professor Ahmed cautioned them they should not go deep into the forest. The land where the children were walking was uneven. जहाँ पे वो चल रहे थे वो land बहुत ही uneven थी and it is covered with many trees. So Tibo helped them to identify different type of trees, that is sal, teak, seemal, shisham, neem, palash, khair, amla, bamboo, kachnar. So these are basically different type of trees which are present in the forest. So also Professor Ahmed pointed out that the trees are several present in the forest, and along with the trees we have shrubs, herbs, grasses in the forest also. The trees were also covered with different types of creepers and climates. So the sun was barely visible. इतने thick forest थे वहाँ पे, इतने thick trees थे. Can you see these trees? These are so thick कि इनके अंदर से जो सन की रेज है वो नीचे बेयरली हमें दिख रही हैं कि शायद ही कोई सन रेज हो नीचे. सी दिस इज डार्कर हियर, हियर इट इज़ ऑल्सो डार्क. तो जो लीव्स हैं जो ट्रीज़ की, वो ट्रीज़ इतने थिक है कि उनके अंदर से सन की रेज पास नहीं हो पा रही है. So it makes quite dark inside the forest. This is what the reason is ki why the forests are dark although it is a daytime. So let's have a look on activity 17.1. Observe the various things in your home and you can make a list of the things which you got material from the forest. Say as plywood, you can see the plywood in your houses, the fuel, wood, boxes, some paper, matchsticks, and वेरी इंपॉर्टेंटली ऑफ फर्नीचर. फर्नीचर कहाँ से आता है? वुड से बनता है. वुड कहाँ से आती है? फॉरेस्ट से. सो डू यू नो दैट गम, ऑयल, स्पाइसेस, फॉडर फॉर एनिमल्स, फॉडर इज द फूड विच एनिमल्स ईट, and some medicinal plants are also some of the products which we get from the forest. सो शीला वंडर्ड व्हाट वुड हैव प्लांटेड दीज ट्रीज, कि किसने इनको प्लांट किया, मतलब कौन ये ट्रीज प्लांट करेगा यहाँ पे फॉरेस्ट में आके, इतना डेंस है, इतने सारे डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ ट्रीज हैं. सो प्रोफेसर अहमद ने उनको रिप्लाई किया कि नेचर में जो ट्रीज होते हैं दे प्रोड्यूस इनफ सीड्स, कि वो इतने सारे सीड्स प्रोड्यूस करते हैं कि जो फॉरेस्ट का फ्लोर होता है वो भी उनको फेवरेबल कंडीशंस देता है और उन्हीं सीड से ये फॉरेस्ट जनरेट होते रहते हैं. And for them, they can generate and develop into seedlings and saplings. Some grow up into trees. He added that branchy part of the tree above the stem is known as crown of the tree. Can you see here? जो branchy part होता है stem के ऊपर, ये जिसमें जो branches होती हैं, हम इसको ये portion क्या हो गया? Crown. This is the crown. Crown means आपके जो सिर के ऊपर होता है. This is the head region of the tree. So these are known as crown. Fine, crown of trees. And you can see and have a look over here the forest products हमें honey हम use करते हैं. It is a forest product, sealing wax, your wooden statues, your gums, oils, etc. So class, this is all for today's lecture. I hope you will complete your worksheets and your assignments properly. Send it back to the class email ID positively. Thank you and have a nice day.